Hi friends, it's Jason, and today I just wanted to talk to you about a book I just finished recently. I saw a few people talking about it on Book Talk and BookTube, and there was kind of a mixed collection of favorable versus negative. The story premise was intriguing enough to me that I wanted to pick it up and check it out. And the book I'm talking about is Five Broken Blades by Mai Corland. It's an interesting story. Basically, the premise is these five assassins are trying to come together and overthrow and kill a god emperor who has this mystical power that has had them ruling for like 1,000 years, and they're not the nicest person in the world. So it's not a completely original story, but it's unique enough that it piqued my interest. Now, the first thing I wanted to say was bravo to Red Tower Books, the publisher of this book, because the book itself is beautiful. If you look at the cover, I absolutely love the cover design. There's a great back cover and fantastic sprayed edges on like those are beautiful. And even on the inside of the book, if we look quickly, the inside, even the cover by itself without the paper jacket is fantastic. It's really nice. The inside is really nice. And you know, there's great illustrations on the inside, you know, all throughout the book. And let me show you. There is a fantastic map on the inside, and you know me, I love a good map, so that is great from the beginning. And it's a good story. So bravo to Red Tower Books for the quality of the production of the book. It looks really, really nice. One of the problems that some people had with this book is there are 6 separate points of view in this story, and for some that's bothersome. It didn't bother me too much, but it could have been brought down to maybe 3. In the whole story of the book, there are 6 main characters, the 5 assassins and the person that is planning the assassination. And each one of them has a point of view, and they kind of separate off into pairs, and I'll get to that again in a minute. But they it could have been brought down to 3, like one person in each pair could have been a point of view maybe, or for me there is 1 or 2 or 1A, 1B main character between Sora, one of the female characters, and Yoon, one of the male characters. For me though, the main character is Sora, because she seems to have the most to lose by this attempt, and she's the most damaged. She's got a lot of backstory. She has a very unique ability in her skills as an assassin. So she was the most unique character for me, and for me, she's the one that I zeroed in on the most. Another thing that bothered some people, and this part more than the points of view bothered me, was the almost instantaneously breaking into couples. Now, one of the pairs, it made sense because they had a backstory. They had been in a relationship before, and circumstances caused them to separate and be living separately for many years, and this attempt has brought them back together, and it's rekindled, you know, their spark between the two of them, which was never really lost. Just the circumstances that created the separation brought them apart. So that one I understood. Another one was kind of supposed to be like an enemies to lovers kind of thing, but almost by halfway through the book, that was starting to wear off. That could have lasted the entirety of the book, and near the end, it could have been revealed, you know, that there was some emotion there between the two, a little stronger, just from my point of view. And the other one was almost instantaneous. It was like, how do you do? Oh, I like you. That was a little much, but I get why she's kind of coupled them up, and but it was almost too quick, and I think that she could have gone through this entire book first before those were started to evolve as much as they have. That being said, if you've watched any of my other videos, the story is the most important factor to me, and this story I do enjoy. I will read the second book, which I think comes out in January of 2025, if I'm not mistaken, and the cover, the whole thing looks just as beautiful as this one does. I will read that second book because the story in this has intrigued me enough, where it's going, what's going to happen next, that I do want to read the second book. So that's a positive for this. Some of the other things that, like the points of view, that might bother you a little bit, but, you know, for example, you could be reading one point of view and then 2 pages later you're into another point of view, and if you don't happen to notice at the top of the page of that chapter that you've switched points of view, you just keep reading, all of a sudden you might be a little bit confused. So if you're a quick reader, make sure that you're recognizing that you switched characters. So just keep an eye on that if you decide to read this book. But overall, I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the story. Some of those things were just little caveats that were kind of annoying. I think on my Goodreads, I gave this about a 3 out of the 5, and that was based on the story itself. The other stuff kind of kept it down a little bit. It could have been better, but overall, I did enjoy the story. So if that sounds like something that may be of interest to you, check out 5 Broken Blades by Mai Corland, and I hope you enjoy it.